What is happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad, Sean, and today reactions to the classics. We got a reaction. We haven't featured this artist somehow,
I know.
but we got the full album reaction to "Late for the Sky" by Jackson Browne. This comes courtesy of our big-time supporter, patron, and friend of the channel, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Rich, thank you very much. I know you're a big singer-songwriter fan, and
Yeah.
we did some Cat Stevens for
Yeah, we
Rich.
did. That was fantastic, too.
Some Bruce Springsteen, and now we're up to Jackson Browne here. So looking forward to this one. Before we get into the quick facts and the track-by-track reaction to this record, if you like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps us out, and hit that big red subscribe button if you like what you see. And if you maybe want us to have do a record for you, you can check out the Patreon link down below. Shout out to the patrons who help keep this channel
definitely. Thank you,
running. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitch as well for our live streams. But all that to say, let's get into the quick facts of this album.
Yeah, it was his third studio album, released in September of 1974. It went platinum, 14 in the U.S., nominated for a Grammy, 377 on the Rolling Stone 500 greatest of albums of all time. Actually, his most acclaimed album critically. Jackson was still living in his childhood home, the Abbey San Encino, where he began writing the songs for this album. Because of the high cost of recording his previous album, Asylum Records founder David Geffen required him to complete the next album quicker and at a less cost. Browne decided to use his touring band of David Lindley, Doug Haywood, Jay Winding, and Larry Zack. It was also decided that Al Schmidt, an engineer on For Every Man, his last album, would co-produce to aid in the album being completed on time since he'd already worked with him. The album was completed in only 6 weeks at half the cost, $50,000, of For Every Man. Numerous friends of Browne's, including Dan Fogelberg, Don Henley, and J.D. Southern, contributed harmony vocals. In his speech inducting Browne into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the great, you mentioned him a minute ago, the great Bruce Springsteen called Late for the Sky Browne's, quote, masterpiece. All tracks are composed by Jackson. It's only 8 songs. They're longer songs, those you would expect for a singer-songwriter. First one up, Late for the Sky, the title track, and one that I don't remember this song in this movie, but we both are very familiar with this movie.
That's right, Taxi Driver, one of the best movies of Scorsese and of the 70s, honestly. And before we get started, music will not be in the YouTube video, but there will be a link down below, so you can check that out if you want to watch the video with the music. And we both will have the lyrics up, especially with Jackson Browne, on our respective computers. But all that to say, let's dive into this.
Thanks again, Rich.
Starting us with the title track. There's kind of a rare deal, man. This is what we got in store for the record. I think we're in for a great one, because not only did I enjoy the poetic lyrics and just heartfelt nature of what Jackson was saying here, I also quite liked the instrumentation. It had a little bit of an organ in the first couple minutes, great solo guitar towards the end, and I just thought everything about this song kind of screams what I would envision in my mind Jackson Browne,
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think it's a fantastic tune, great way to start. Tells a great story, as you would expect a singer-songwriter, but you mentioned during the reaction just now a little bit, the instrumentation was a nice surprise. You don't always get that in singer-songwriter stuff, which is fine either way, but this is a nice touch.
Yeah, when you can combine both of those. And going into the lyrics a little bit, we start with the words had all been spoken, and somehow the feeling still wasn't right. And still we continued on through the night. The night is a motif that continues throughout this track, tracing our steps from the beginning until they vanished into the air, trying to understand how our lives had led us there. So obviously Jackson's with a lover. We have two people in a relationship, and you have this you have the motif of the night, as well as kind of the sleeping, the eyes and whatnot that appear as well. It's looking hard into your eyes. There was nobody I'd ever known. Such an empty surprise to feel so alone. So I think this relationship's coming to the end of its rope.
Yeah, now for me, some words come easy, but I know that they don't mean that much. Compare with the things that are said when lovers touch. You never knew what I loved in you. I don't know what you loved in me. Maybe the picture of somebody you were hoping I might be. So
that was probably my favorite.
I thought that was real
favorite
nice.
line in there, and then he, it can kind of continues on in the track as we outro about the, asking questions. How long have I been sleeping? How long have I been drifting alone through the night? How long have I been running for that morning flight? through the whispered promises and the changing light of the bed where we both lie. So I'm assuming they're still together, but
Yeah, but they know they're apart. That happens in so many relationships. They're together, yet they're really not.
and so a great way to start us
Definitely.
off. And now we're going to go to Fountain of Sorrow, released as the second single and was the longest track on the record.
And the longest song Browne had yet released, it clocks in at over 6 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes as a standard were removed from the single release, but it failed to chart. The song is generally assumed to have been inspired by Browne's brief relationship with Joni Mitchell, which we'll have a Mitchell reaction to Hajira coming up, and she actually talks about her relationship with Jackson a little bit on one of the songs, and it's not real flattering for Jackson, but we'll get into that at a later time. But let's check this one out.
Fountain of Sorrow coming in longest track on the record, and dang, it was fantastic, dude. From
Man, it was freaking great,
start to finish.
I did a lot of digging here to try to find the harmonies. I think it's just listed out. I mean, it's not listed on any of the official stuff. I found on Pandora where they list out, but I don't think it's right because I think it lists out 8 people for harmonies.
Yeah.
Fogelberg and Henley are 2 of them, but I think they're probably just listing everybody that did harmonies on this album. But it was interesting. I know we're going to get into the lyrics, and you can get into these for quite a while. I mean, basically a photograph takes him back to go through all these different things, and I liked because there's not really a verse, so to speak. So the harmonies just come on, or a chorus, I should say. So the harmonies just kind of come in the middle of a verse to give certain lines punch. I think that's a great, that's a great little technique.
Yeah.
And then, man, there's a lot of lyrics. He's a master songwriter.
Yeah, man, that's what I really got from this, man. Just how he took something so simple, and I mean, we've all kind of been there, I think, in a sense where you just find a random photograph, nowadays it wouldn't maybe be in a drawer, but maybe on your phone.
Yeah, I know what I was going to say, yeah.
And then you think, oh, yeah, I remember what we were doing when this was taken, and that's kind of how the first verse is, it's a previous lover, previous relationship, and he notes now the things that I remember seem so distant and small, though it hasn't really been that long a time. He notes, when you see, this is one of my favorite lines.
This was, you're going to say what I was going to say.
When you see through love's illusions, there lies the danger, and your perfect lover just looks like a perfect fool. So you go running off in search of a perfect stranger when the loneliness seems to spring from your life like a fountain from a pool.
I think that was the best lines in the song, and that's saying something.
No, man, because, you have those rose-tinted glasses, but then you step away, you're like, this person wasn't maybe the beacon of light I thought they were, but then now you go running off in front of that for that
cycle's just going to repeat.
Perfect stranger,
because people are not perfect, and it's just going to repeat.
And then just kind of noting how they've changed since then. He's I'm just 1 or 2 years and a couple of changes behind you. In my lessons at Love's Pain and Heartache School, where if you feel too free and you need something to remind you, there's this loneliness springing up from your life like a fountain from a pool. That just hits, man. That loneliness is just going out of this guy's heart. And man, I thought that was a fantastic tune.
Oh, it's great.
That'll be in my favorites. I'm
sure.
I'm pretty sure.
It'll be a little easier this time because there's only 8 songs.
Yeah.
I picked 3 favorites. At least it won't be as hard, I don't think.
And now we're going to go to track 3, Farther On. So
I don't have anything on this, but one thing about Jackson, we can figure it out as we listen to it.
Farther On, Jackson Browne, bringing it yet again, man, with a wonderful tune. Not only lyrically, but that guitar work in there was great. That slide guitar. I believe, looking at the notes here, the personnel, that was David Lindley on guitar work. We're gonna go with that, and I thought he did a killer freaking job, man. And,
yeah, he did.
Kind of carries over some themes that we had from the last track. Even that kind of, you're out there lost, trying to find, in the previous it was that relationship, and he's still trying to find his way to love and this or that, and there was those themes of loneliness. And here, even on the third line, adrift on an ocean of loneliness, my dreams like nets were thrown to catch the love that I'd heard of in books and films and songs. I thought that was a pretty neat line.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was well done. You talked about it during the song. The instrumentation came in harder, and I thought Jackson sung it harder, if that makes sense.
No, that
he was really going in with emotion. And I don't know. I was reading some different interpretations of what this song means as I was going along with the lyrics. People have different takes on it. No matter how much the world's got him down, he's still going to be positive. Other people see, heaven's getting no closer and the days, are kind of getting longer, that he's never going to find happiness. I don't know, man. What do you say? I see it as he's not giving up, man. That it's kind of a real world account of, look, man, every day is not going to be great. It's great if you got a good attitude every day, but every day is not going to be great, man. That is life.
No, and then you had the motif of those angels popping up in heaven. You kind of had almost that spiritual sense.
Yes.
So yeah, I was wondering that too. I'm kind of with you. He's still soldiering on with his maps and drawings of the journey that he's begun as he is in here. And then now the distance leads me farther on. Though the reasons I once had are gone, I keep thinking I'll find what I'm looking for in the sand beneath the dawn. So I am just getting that sense of Jackson just continuing to go through whatever trials he's going through, whatever life throws at him. Maybe he's not getting what he wants, but hey, he's sleeping and he's going to get up and try again tomorrow.
Yeah, and that next line, but the angels are older. They can see that the sun's setting fast. They look over my shoulder at the vision of paradise contained in the light of the past.
Yeah, that was a good.
They lay down behind me to sleep beside the road till the morning has come, where they know they will find me with my maps and my faith in the distance moving farther on. So I guess, I guess
he's still
going, but he's running out of time. Whatever that means for us, right? Sometimes we think in our 40s, if things haven't worked out, we're running out of time. That's usually not the case, but that's how we view things when we're in this situation.
I'm liking we're only 3 songs in, but I'm liking, it's prompting some good discussion from it.
That's what master songwriters do, man.
Making you think a little deeper, man. And now we're going to go to the last song on the side 1. We got The Late Show. So let's see what we got here. Another 5-minute long too, kind of front loaded with longer songs.
Yeah.
So let's get it. Freaking killing it again, man, with The Late Show. Lots of awesome stuff, production, instrumentation, and of course lyricism again in this track, man. This side 1 was all killer, no filler. That's
it was. I like the first verse because it kind of sums up what I say. I've said sometimes over the years. Everyone I've ever known has wished me well. Anyway, that's how it seems. It's hard to tell. Maybe people only ask how you're doing because that's easier than letting on how little they could care. They'll, how you doing? Like, you don't really, you got 10 minutes, bro? Let me tell you. No, just want to hear it. Good. Oh, that's good. When you know that you've got a real friend somewhere, suddenly all the others are so much easier to bear because I guess you can go, at least there's somebody real somewhere.
No, you're right, man. And, and then it moves on to the next verse. Again, a lot of these, don't have choruses or anything. No. They're stories,
but
obviously.
They have the nice harmony vocals, as you pointed out, during the song, which without, the chorus, it still sounds like, it still gives it punch. You don't need a chorus when you're telling a master story, but it does help to have those harmonies to kind of break up the monotony of the song. Not that they're monotonous, but, to add a little layer to it.
Give a little left turns here, and I like when the harmonies come in. I assume that he's talking about maybe finding that special someone again.
That's exactly what I think he's talking about.
That if you stumbled onto someone real, you'd never know. You could be with somebody who was lonely too. Again, that loneliness theme popping up. He might be trying to get it across to you when your own emptiness is all that's getting through. There comes a point when you're not sure why you're still talking. I passed that point long ago. Really enjoying the honesty of this record.
Yes.
Jackson's not painting the fact that he's all A-okay. He's talking to the realities of life, man. That loneliness that comes, that looking for love, that who are my real friends? Do these people even care? And then we keep on going. Again, enjoyed. We had a little some more slide guitar work towards the end. Again, piano was bringing a nice nice driving force of the track, and at the very end,
the very end's fantastic.
I thought it was very poignant and pretty neat.
Yeah, as he says, look, this is the very last verse. It's like you're standing in the window of a house nobody lives in. So I don't know if it's truly a house, and she's living there all alone, or he's talking about her own emotions, that she's all by herself.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in a car across the way. It's an early model Chevrolet. It's a warm and windy day. You go and pack your sorrow. The trash man comes tomorrow. Leave it at the curb, and we'll just roll away. So he's telling her, look, leave all that behind. The trash man comes, he's going to take it away, right? And then we start anew.
That's
Everything's empty. And get in the car and let's go. And then in that last minute instrumental outro, you hear what you thought was a car door.
That's right.
And then 7 seconds later, there's the other car door, so she did get in. And then 10 seconds later,
the engine's revving up, man.
So what a intelligent way of popping it off to let you know how this story ends without having to tell you. That was pretty masterful.
Yeah, this is I gotta add this, man. I gotta heart that. That'll
You've hearted 2 of the 4. Trey. That's high praise.
Yeah, that's probably gonna end up on the favorites as well, man. But hey, we still got half the record left.
I know we do.
Now we're going to the shortest song here, "The Road and the Sky." Jackson actually plays slide guitar on this one. So
right.
let's see what we got. A little 3 minutes, 3-minute short and sweet tune. All right, "The Road in the Sky," 3 minutes, man, short, sweet, but still packs some good lyrics in, and definitely the most upbeat rockin' tune.
Yeah, it definitely stands out as being different for sure, but still had some nice little lyrics in there.
No, definitely. I like I like it. Almost had a little connection to the last song with his stolen Chevrolet.
Yeah,
a little bit, but I like the second verse. "Well, I spend my time at the bottom of a wishing well, and I can hear my dreams singing clear as a bell. I used to know where they ended and the world began, but now it's getting hard to tell. I could be just around the corner from heaven or a mile from hell." So he doesn't know, kind of in his path of life,
Exactly.
is he going down, is he going towards heaven again? Hey, heaven popping up again, and then, or is he going down in flames essentially with his life? Where are dreams at? All that good stuff. And then even in the chorus, "I'm going to get a little higher and see if I can hotwire reality."
Yeah, nice little car tie in there. And then I like, now you can see those dark clouds gathering up ahead. They're going to wash this planet clean, like the Bible said. Now you can hold on steady and try to be ready. But everybody's going to get wet. Don't think it won't happen just because it hasn't happened yet. So
right.
What I like about that is I think he's telling you, even if you haven't had difficult times in life, and I mean, I've seen this out of people because, you and I, just like everyone else, has had difficult times in life. And sometimes you're around somebody who hasn't had a difficult time in life, and they kind of almost have an arrogance about it, whether they mean to or not. Of like, everything's. But don't worry, good, man. It happens to everybody. So he's letting you know, it's coming.
No, and enjoyed his guitar work on that. I thought that was cool, and the ragtime piano, really just energetic and tiptoeing the track, and quite enjoyed it. And now 3 tracks left. We're gonna go to "For a Dancer," which has some connections to Saturday Night Live. We had the Late Show earlier on, and we're getting some Saturday Night Live connection.
Yeah, it was played at the memorial services for both John Belushi and Phil Hartman, and Jackson actually played it at the Hartman service.
What a powerful tune, especially at the end, man. A lot of reflections on death and just purpose in life in general is found in this track, and yeah, man, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I was searching and searching. I always like to know what the artist says. Now, some artists will say multiple things over the years on songs that are old, but in 2017 at a concert, Jackson introduced this as something he wrote for a male friend who was a multifaceted artist, a painter, sculptor, and dancer who died tragically in a house fire. So that's where you see it. And he blends in. He blends in the sky motif.
You're right.
Too, for the wait for the sky that pay attention. Keep a fire burning in your eye. Pay attention to the open sky. I don't remember losing track of you. You were always dancing in and out of view. I must have thought you'd always be around. So, I mean, that's that's what we do with people sometimes. Maybe we don't talk to someone for a long time because you just, life gets in the way. And then all of a sudden, I kind of think that's what he was thinking there. And then all of a sudden, this guy's gone, man.
Yeah, and then it shifts kind of to that funeral. I can't help feeling stupid standing around crying as they ease you down, because I know that you'd rather we were dancing our sorrow away than those harmony vocals come in yet again, just beautifully in there, and noting that in the end there is one dance you'll do alone. The dance of death, man. Right, man. The dance of death.
We all face that alone, no matter how close we are to somebody.
And these last 2 verses were really powerful, though. Just noting that even though we are going to do the dance of death alone, perhaps a better world is drawing near. Just as easily, it could all disappear along with whatever meaning you might have found. Don't let the uncertainty, though, turn you around. Go on and make a joyful sound. So even though you might not know what lies beyond the corner or why this stuff has happened in your life, don't let that turn you against the world. Go on and make a joyful sound. Man, and dang, it was just a very, very somber yet powerful tune,
man.
And
I can see why they wanted it at Belushi and Hartman's funeral.
I was gonna say, this works as a funeral song, no doubt.
It really does.
And I mean, the violin coming in was
it added some nice just elegance to the song.
Yeah, that's a good elegant
with the content matter. Trey, that's going to take us to the first single. It didn't chart. Walking Slow.
Walking Slow.
Which,
all
as
right.
I age, I mean, that's what I do all the time. So maybe I should just spin this thing.
All right, Walking Slow. What were your thoughts on this one?
Trey, I found the first song I didn't really care for. I like that, you know, it's upbeat and a little more energetic. I like that. And I know it's probably part of the charm of the song for a lot of you guys. I hated the jug on it.
The jug wasn't your... Is that going to join the tuba as one of your...
Yeah, you got to take the jug out of there. I get it. It just doesn't fit for me on this album, but I'm probably in the minority there. But I mean, this album is fantastic. So, what did you think of this?
I think I liked it more than you. You know, more. You know, not going to be in my favorite tracks or anything, but this was probably the catchiest song we had.
Yeah, it was, and it may grow on me. It's the first time I've heard it, and I will definitely be listening to this album again.
That may, you know, because it had those repeating choruses, and it was a little bit more upbeat, and
I can see why they chose it as a single. Yet, to me, it's the wrong choice. I mean, I can see where it's the most commercially viable, but if I just heard this song on the radio and went, well, this is what the album's filled with, that's the furthest thing from the truth.
No, you're right.
But still, it's still, you know.
I did find it interesting, too. Like, that connection of death is still in loneliness.
I know it is,
still
man. No,
pervading
it is.
Even a track that's more,
upbeat with the jug.
I mean, the chorus itself, I got a thing or two to say before I walk on by. I'm feeling good today. But if I die a little farther along, I'm trusting everyone to carry on.
And he repeats that later on, man.
And, you know, then he mentions the girl because he's kind of in a place where he doesn't really know anybody. So he kind of enjoys that. And again, notes that he's like alone. But then he talks about his girl. I got a pretty little girl of my own at home. Sometimes we forget we love each other and we fight for no reason. But then he notes, I don't know what I'd do if she ever leaves me alone. I thought that was kind of clever. But yeah, man, and that's going to transition us to 6-minute, 20-second tune, our closer before the deluge. So we'll get to listening to this, and then get our favorite tracks and overall score of this fantastic album. Before the deluge, coming in, finishing up this record in a kind of contemplative way, and also some of the themes we've had in this record, of course, the nature, the sky, the
sky, yeah, for
sure. Kind of coming in, the purpose of life, even. You know, we had in a previous song mentioning, like, whenever the rains come down, you know, I think that was in For a Dancer. And that's, you kind of see that come to pass here, man.
Yeah, there's kind of three I was reading. There's three basic theories. You may have a different theory. There's a lot of theories on this song in particular, but, you know, the deluge is either Noah and the flood. Most people think it's nuclear holocaust. Because this was the time when, you know, I mean, I was born in 71. Growing up, I mean, we were always paranoid, you know, and I know people who were a little older than me, the paranoia was even more so.
Is the USSR going to drop?
Yeah, exactly, and it's all going to be over. So those are kind of the two main things, and then, you know, just the environmentalism in itself, that we're just destroying the environment, would be the third one. So who knows? I guess, you know, it can mean whatever you want it to mean, but it's a nice way to end this thing.
No, and again, shows Jackson's strength as a songwriter with those multiple. If you want to read in a biblical sense, the flood coming in, you can do that. If you want to read, because I mean, he especially noted here, some of them were angry all the way at the way the earth was abused by the men who learned how to forge her beauty into power, and they struggled to protect her from them, only to be confused by the magnitude of her fury in the final hour. So, you know, the earth coming back, taking them out. And then that he kind of notes the sand before is kind of growing weary, and now the sand was gone and the time arrived, and the naked dawn, only a few survived. So maybe that you know, something.
That's the
catastrophic
apocalyptic part. Yeah, exactly.
It happened. And in attempts to understand a thing so simple and so huge, believed that they were meant to live after the deluge. And, you know, the last line, let creation revel in its secrets by and by, when the light that's lost within us reaches the sky. So I think it was an appropriate closer for sure, both musically and thematically here. Killing it, man. But Jackson killed this whole record, and now I guess that'll take us to our favorite tracks. You want me to go first, or you want to?
I'll go first this time. I'm gonna go. I mean, this one's tough, man. I'm gonna go Fountain of Sorrow
That'd be one of mine. Okay.
The Late Show,
That also one of mine.
and For a Dancer, with honorable mention to Late for the Sky. And I mean, really, honorable mention for me for everything except for Walking Slow, which
Yeah.
wasn't horrible. I don't want to. It's just the other stuff is so high quality.
Well, yeah, man. I'd be Fountain of Sorrow. I'd be The Late Show. Those were just so epic. And gosh, I mean, I don't. For a Dancer, I was leaning to, but I'll go something different than you here. I'll go Late for the Sky. I'll go our opener, man.
Yeah, I mean, you could have definitely talked me into that as well.
I'll go our opening title track. Just a lot of great stuff here. And now that'll take us to our overall score of the record. What do you got, Dad?
Yeah, on this one, I'm going to be real high just because.
I am too, man. This was Rich doesn't ever steer us wrong, man.
No, and
he didn't
I'm
this
going
time.
back. I don't know. I think I'm going to be at about an 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
You talked me even into a little bit higher. I'm going to go back and listen to this record. This is right up my alley, man.
No, man. I'm gonna be in that same ballpark of that 8.25, 8.5 range, man, because I thought this thing was just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Start to finish, 8 songs, 41 minutes. It's nice and succinct. That's kind of my go-to in the record, around a 40-minute or 35 to 40,
I
42
agree.
minutes. 8 to 10 tracks, and just the songwriting on this was. Pretty timeless, man. This is something that I think you can listen to in 100 years because, maybe besides the old Chevrolet name drop, there's a lot in here that.
And it's the old Chevrolets parked out front on the album
Yeah.
cover, by the way. So that's a nice little touch.
Oh yeah, I just now noted. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn neat too. And even though it's not a concept record per se, I did enjoy how a lot of the songs connected in their themes of either being alone or the whole sky or the
Death.
or the death coming in.
Yeah.
And trying to find purpose in life is another one. I mean, a lot of stuff to unpack here that I think lends to repeat listens. So,
I agree.
Shout out to Rich, man, for bringing
thank you, Rich.
another killer record.
Finally, some Jackson Browne for us.
That's right, man. And it didn't disappoint, man. It definitely lived up to the expectations, man. So be sure to give this one a listen if you haven't.
For sure.
And if you have, let us know what your thoughts are on this record. Is it your favorite Jackson Browne? I know it's Rich's, and I mean it's a pretty darn high bar. But as always, Dad, appreciate the research. And until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Happy listening, and we will see ya.